Oh, snap, yo. You can't fight news. Hold on a second. Y'all know what it is, man. Check it out. Tony Bellew versus Oleksandr Usyk for the undisputed cruiserweight championship on the line. And right now the fight is live in the 6th round. Tony Bellew is up on points right now. Tony Bellew is in a competitive fight, but he's actually the busier man in there. He's letting his hands go. And Oleksandr Usyk has not gotten into his rhythm. As the 6th round ends, Usyk is left missing his shots while Tony Bellew is able to get off first. Paulie Malignaggi, I think he's got it like 4-2. Usyk somehow, but I think anybody can have it 5 rounds to 1 right now. Tony Bellew is pulling somewhat of a shocker here early on. Tony Bellew, I don't know exactly how he cut his weight, but he looks just as good at heavyweight right now at cruiserweight fighting Oleksandr Usyk. I'll say that right now. He looks just as good right now. But right now, fuck, man. You see, when you get a stream and shit, fucking it starts buffering out of nowhere. And you gotta fucking play with it a bit, man. Let me get this stream back on. Oh, and we're back. And it's the 7th round. So we're back in the 7th round. And Oleksandr Usyk is trying to walk down Tony Bellew. He's pacing himself. But the problem Oleksandr Usyk is having is he's in a situation. He's in a situation where he needs to. Oleksandr Usyk is so used to boxing from the outside, and now Tony Bellew has come in here and he's been the aggressor, but now Tony Bellew is sitting back on the ropes right now, and he's allowing Oleksandr Usyk to do something, and he's fighting off the ropes. Tony Bellew has very little respect for the game of Oleksandr Usyk. He's showing very little respect. I'll say that right now. And Oleksandr Usyk is being Oleksandr Usyk is standing right in front of Tony Bellew trying to be defensive. But it's not working for him. It's not working for Oleksandr Usyk right now. He's standing. This kind. You know what this kind of remind me of? It's like Tony Bellew came to fucking fight, and Usyk came to box, but he ain't throwing nothing except a jab. Oleksandr Usyk is throwing a jab and not too much else right now, and that's just me being real. Oleksandr Usyk is throwing a jab and not a heck of a lot too much else. And here he go. He throws a left hand as he caught Bellew in the corner. Bellew comes back with body shots, man. Tony Bellew came back with body shots and some. And Usyk is not doing enough. He's not doing enough to beat Tony Bellew. He's not doing it. I thought, you know what? I really, somehow, I thought Oleksandr Usyk would win this fight. But right now, Tony Bellew showed up. Maybe there was a close round, that 7th round. But even if you have a close round, I got it 5-2 for Tony Bellew. Let's give that round to Usyk. Because I think most judges have it 5-2. Usyk needs to come on late here because it's Tony Bellew that is really Usyk is not winning this on the cards. Right now, Manchester and Tony Bellew throwing more punches. And he'd be landing, I believe he is landing more punches. And he's getting more reaction. And here is the 8th round. Tony Bellew is fighting a bit on the back foot, and Oleksandr Usyk throws a combination as he's in the corner. Usyk landed some shots there early on in the 8th round. He's got a little jab. Is fighting a bit too much now off the back foot. Tony Bellew fighting off the back foot. It's not a good look now. He was more aggressive in the early rounds. And now Oleksandr Usyk is starting to walk down Tony Bellew. But Bellew's landing counter right hands. And he's landing his Tony Bellew misses with a big left hand shot, and he's throwing uppercuts to the body. Tony Bellew just took a big left hand from Usyk, and Usyk is starting to let his hands go now. For the first time since because Usyk is letting his hands go in spots. But he's winning this round. I believe Usyk is winning this round. He's got Bellew with his back against the ropes. And he just landed a big left hand. And down goes Bellew. Down goes Bellew on a wicked left hand shot. And Bellew is knocked out. Bellew got knocked out. That's it. Tony Bellew, it's a wrap for him. Oh my goodness. I was sitting here talking about Tony Bellew's about to pull off an upset. He just got his ass lit up by Oleksandr Usyk. Oleksandr Usyk just lit his ass up with a right hand, and he lulled him. He lulled him into a big on his ass. Tony Bellew just got knocked the fuck out. That's what I'm talking about, man. Oleksandr Usyk showed up, and he just crushed a lot of UK soul right now. Oleksandr Usyk showed up big time. Oh my goodness, he just turned it on. In the last round, he did well early and towards the end. And Tony Bellew finds himself in disbelief right now. Absolute disbelief. Tony Bellew is crying in the corner, man. It's a wrap for Tony Bellew. Oh my goodness. In a fight where Tony Bellew legitimately could have been up on the cards. Legitimately, Oleksandr Usyk was looking to come on later in the fight, as he always does. In a shocking 1 round, momentum change, he's done. Shout out to Stay Ready Boxing TV. Tony Bellew is a wrap for this dude, man. And imagine Eddie Hearn. That Eddie Hearn must have been on the edge of his seat, right up close to the ring, looking at Oleksandr Usyk saying, "Oh my goodness, oh my goodness." This guy, he really believed. I'm sure he believed that Bellew was going to do his thing. It was not to be. It was not to be. There's Amir Khan and shit. Amir Khan looking at him like, oh my God. Bow down. Tony Bellew got his ass whooped. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Your boy Oleksandr Usyk knocks out Tony Bellew in 8 rounds. That's what's happened, guys. Oleksandr Usyk knocked out Tony Bellew in 8 rounds. That's what happened, guys. Kell Brook clapping. Oh my goodness. He defends his championships. And we still have Oleksandr Usyk as the undisputed cruiserweight champion of the world. Tony Bellew got knocked out, clipped with a big left-hand shot as he was tiring. The story of this fight is Tony Bellew letting his hands go, but at the same time, Oleksandr Usyk is a slow starter. Maybe he didn't realize this, but Oleksandr Usyk fights every fight. He's willing to go 12 rounds in every fight. So Tony Bellew this guy was, it's almost like he thought he was winning the fight so much, he took it a level back. He stopped putting on the same kind of pressure he did early on. And his activity slowed down, and he got lulled into a wicked left hand. And you know what? He kept trying to fight against the ropes, and he found himself at the end of a 1-2 combination from Oleksandr Usyk that just had him completely shook. And it's El Cole, you know, Tony Bellew. It's a wrap for the kid, man. It's a wrap for Tony Bellew. He got knocked out cold, man. He got 1-2. And his chin. All it took was one left hand to get him knocked out. One clean left hand. Oleksandr Usyk just showed shocking power as a cruiserweight, and it also showed when you move down in weight, like when you take a step back, move down in weight after being a heavyweight, that's going to affect your punch resistance. My goodness. Tony Bellew ain't looking bad. Right now, Tony Bellew ain't looking good, bro. Yo, man. Look at this kid, Tony Bellew. What happened to him, man? What happened to Tony Bellew, man? And legitimately, he was up on the cards. I'm telling you, Tony Bellew was up on them scorecards. I'm going to tell you that right now. Man, that crowd is all the way shook. Oh, you paid for the fight? Yeah, man. Hey, it was a shocking knockout. I did not expect Usyk to. I thought he would win a decision. Oddly enough, I thought Oleksandr Usyk would have won a decision. This knockout was similar to his loss to, not similar to the Adonis Stevenson loss, but the way he got knocked out, it's like he clipped his chin, and that's all she wrote, man. Yeah, Bellew, he showed up to fight. Bellew showed up to fight, but he didn't. Oh my God, what is Eddie Hearn doing? Eddie Hearn feeding Bellew water and shit, man. Trying to give him a hug and shit. Eddie Hearn trying to sympathize with his fighter Tony Bellew, but guess what? Oleksandr Usyk. He came with it, man. Oleksandr Usyk came with it. He came with a big right hand for him, and he really set Bellew up, man. And Bellew made the mistake. What was he doing, trying to fight off the ropes and shit? It's like he tired himself out. It's like he ran out of gas. Tony Bellew ran out of gas. And they're in the post-fight interview now. Let me see if I could listen in on this shit. Tony Bellew said he gave everything he got. That's what he said. And he looked like he wanted to cry and shit. And he's giving credit to Usyk. Oh man, he's going up to Usyk and he's giving him credit. Right in the middle of the interview, he went up to Usyk and he's giving him credit. Man, hey, that's respect. That's respect. Check this out. So this is during the interview. He goes up to Usyk and he says, "Hey, this is a great champion. Much respect to Usyk." That's what's up, man. I agree with that, man. He said he tried to get him. But you know what? Hey, you know what else Usyk showed? Usyk showed a good chin. Because he was getting hit by Tony Bellew's best shots. He was getting with some of his best shots, and Usyk was just like, okay. It's just like, okay, I can take the power. And he was willing to give up some rounds in order to catch Bellew and drown him late, man. That's what I had a feeling Usyk would come on late. But all it took was a couple rounds to get Bellew to slow down. And Usyk literally just caught him with one shot. One or two shots. But you know what? Bellew, he seemed to be shook up. And you can see he got puffed up a bit, but he really didn't get hit too much in this fight, Tony Bellew. He didn't get hit too much. You can tell, like, it's not like it was a beatdown. He was actually winning his fair share of rounds. He just kissed Eddie Hearn in the forehead. That's what he did right now. He brought out Eddie Hearn. He's, oh, I love you, Eddie. He's like, he beat me fair and square. That's what he's saying right now, man. Basically, Tony Bellew, he's giving a retirement speech right now. If I could really look at what he says, he's giving a retirement speech, man. He's acting like it's gonna be his last fight, and you know what's funny? It seemed like Bellew landed a bunch of shots, a gang of shots on him, but all Usyk's face is clean. So a lot of them shots, man, maybe Usyk been rolling with it and shit, because there's literally no damage on Oleksandr Usyk right now. No damage on his face. Hey, by the way, shout out to the super chat. Stay ready boxing. Much respect. What happened? Tony Bellew got caught with the jab, straight left hand, and it was a wrap for him. Like, that's basically what happened. And it was two straight shots. And Usyk is out here, man. You check out Usyk, man. This dude look clean. Man, the thing about Usyk is he's a man of few words. The guy doesn't talk a whole lot at all. Let me see if I could. There you go. So Usyk is saying he was waiting for Bellew to slow down, and he was waiting for a big shot. It's very rare that you see elite fighters come in with a game plan like that. It's very rare. It's almost like what Canelo did to Amir Khan in a weird way. So that's a big victory. That's a big victory for Oleksandr Usyk. The way he won, He knocked Tony Bellew out. Does it set up an Anthony Joshua fight? I think it does. I think Eddie Hearn needs to say, hey, Dillian White, take this guy a step back. And I think Anthony is going to duck. He wants no smoke with Deontay. He should make a call for Oleksandr Usyk to make that fight as soon as possible. And I'm saying not for fucking April. I wish AJ would just really consider coming back in January, February, really trying to make a statement. But he's not that kind of fighter. He's perfectly happy to go with a 2-fight schedule and wait it out till April and shit. When that's so much time, he could have 2 fights by the time April starts. That should be his 2nd fight. Bellew's career is over. Yeah, he's probably going to retire. The Euros have the best fighters. No, they don't. They actually don't. But they do have 2 top-level elite fighters for the first time in a long time, with Vasyl Lomachenko and now Oleksandr Usyk making a name for himself. Remember, this is a defense. This is Oleksandr Usyk defending his cruiserweight titles. He hasn't moved up to heavyweight yet. And they're asking him right now if he wants to be the undisputed heavyweight champion. So does he want to move up to heavyweight? We're going to hear what he has to say. He didn't really say. He said he's going to move towards that. That's what he said. He's going to try and move towards that. Now, does that mean he's going to move up to heavy for sure? This guy's being very vague. Oh, shit. Hey, we got 85 people in the building. Hey, hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button. Oleksandr Usyk just out Tony Bellew. And he's styling right now, man. Oleksandr Usyk in the building. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I just lost the stream, bro. I just lost the stream for a goddamn second. Unbelievable. Who won? Oleksandr Usyk won the fight by stoppage, by an 8th round knockout. That's what happened. Unbelievable. Unbelievable stuff. And technical difficulties have gotten the best of me for this moment here. We're gonna bring it right back. We're gonna bring it right back, man. Fuck, man. So Oleksandr Usyk in a fight that Usyk, honestly, he was losing to me. I thought he was losing the fight early on. I thought Usyk was being outboxed in the first 5 or 6 rounds. Oleksandr Usyk was being outboxed by Tony Bellew. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Tony Bellew was snapping a jab. Oleksandr Usyk was bouncing in front of him in mid-range. And Tony Bellew was sitting there and saying, "Hey, you ain't throwing your punches." He was letting his hands go. He's being very animated. He was showboating and shit. He had his fucking shoulders on the top rope and shit, just kind of taunting Usyk to let his hands go and throw his punches. And Usyk was literally sapping the energy out of this dude, literally. Let me get this password in here. All right. And oh shit. You see, unbelievable. So my laptop dies just as Eddie Hearn's being interviewed, and they're gonna have to see what exactly I'm going to have to find out what he said because I don't know if he's talking about the Joshua fight right now. Because right now, I think the Joshua fight now is bigger than a potential Dillian White fight. It, in my opinion, is second to Anthony Joshua versus Oleksandr Usyk, who can clearly be available for April. If Oleksandr Usyk took a WBO option, because this would be the same thing that Crawford did when he moved up to fight Jeff Horn. He was the undisputed champion at 140. And what happened is Crawford had a direct shot at Jeff Horn. So this is the same scenario. Usyk might be able to get a special fight with Joshua if Eddie Hearn decides to go with Usyk instead of Dillian White. Or if Dillian White loses to Derek Chisora, Oleksandr Usyk now becomes a legitimate replacement or a second option if Eddie Hearn doesn't want to make that fight happen. So this is post-fight. The result, if you don't know by now, Oleksandr Usyk knocked out Tony Bellew in the 8th round in a fight that it seemed like Tony Bellew was winning. He got caught with several shots towards the end of the 7th round. He had his back against the ropes for most of the 7th round. And then in the 8th round, he got lackadaisical. He let Oleksandr Usyk start landing his punches, and he underestimated the power of Oleksandr Usyk, who came at him with a beautiful straight 1-2, and that's all it took. That's all it took for Tony Bellew to lose and to get his ass knocked out. That's what happened, man. That's what happened. The thing is, Anthony Joshua may be too big. I mean, he really is. In the ring, he's a 240-pounder. They fought this fight. They both weighed in at 200 pounds. So Anthony Joshua, theoretically, would probably have at least 20 to 30 pounds weight advantage on Oleksandr Usyk if they were to have that fight. 20 to 30 pounds is a lot. That is a lot of weight to have. That's a lot of weight. I'll say that right now. So, and Oleksandr Usyk cannot fight the way, I don't think he can fight the way he fought Tony Bellew tonight. You know, this is still a cruiserweight, and I would think, in terms of fight magnitude, it would be a big fight to make, just because you have two undefeated champions. You know, I'm being very generous calling AJ a champion, but for the sake of him having a bunch of titles, oh my goodness. Oh my. All right, you King Fight News. Peace out, guys, man. I'm going to be right back.